which we are not using here for our lecture. So we have to say Rajesh can sing. We cannot say Rajesh cans sing. Alright, I hope the first point has become very clear. Let's move a little forward. Take a look at your screen. The affirmative એટલે positive. The affirmative is formed by putting the modal verb between the subject and the main verb. કર્તા અને ક્રિયા વચ્ચે શું મૂકીશું? Modal verb. I'll repeat the rule again. The affirmative, that is a positive sentence, is formed by putting the modal verb between the subject karta and the main verb, that is the kriya. Example જોઈ લઈએ. You should visit your grandmother. You should visit. Where is the subject in that sentence? You. Where is the main verb in that sentence? Visit. So you should visit your grandmother. Let's come to the next rule. Number 3. Negative. કોઈ પણ modal અથવા auxiliary verb નો negative આપણે કઈ રીતે બનાવીશું? The negative is formed by putting n apostrophe t અથવા તો not, 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 after the main verb. Please remember this, after the main verb. Let us see an example. Rajesh can't sing. Alright, Rajesh can't sing. What did I use? I used the N apostrophe and T. This is how you make the negative. This is rule number 3. I hope the rules are becoming a little clear. Let's come to rule number 4. On your screen, number 4. How do you form questions with the help of modals? Questions can be formed by inverting. What is the meaning of inverting? એને ઊંધું કરી દેવું. Questions can be formed by inverting the subject and the modal verb. કર્તા અને modal verb ને ફેરવી દેવું. Example તમારી સામે છે. Rajesh can sing. એમાં પ્રશ્ન પૂછવો હોય તો can Rajesh sing? Of course, the question mark has to come at the end of it all. Alright. Now, after the example, just below the example on your screen, look at that note. It is a very important note. What does it say? We do not use do in questions and negatives. Alright, વાક્યમાં જ્યારે તમે modal verbs વાપરો છો અને questions અથવા negative statements ની રચના કરવી હોય તો we do not use do. Do ના તમને forms યાદ છે friends? Does and did. એટલે આ ત્રણેય વસ્તુઓ, ત્રણેય શબ્દો rather, do, does, did cannot be used. How? Again, I'll show you an example. We cannot say, does Rajesh can sing? Can we make such a sentence? This is totally, absolutely wrong. Right? Similarly, we also cannot say, Rajesh doesn't can sing. First example તમારા સ્ક્રીન પર એ ક્વેશ્ચનનો એક્ઝામ્પલ છે. બીજો એક્ઝામ્પલ છે which is negative sentenceનો એક્ઝામ્પલ છે. So kindly remember, when we are using modal verbs in your sentence, when we are using negative and questions, we are not supposed to use the 3 forms: do, does and did. Kindly remember this rule. This is a very important rule. Let's come to the next slide. પાંચમા રૂલ ઉપર આવીએ. Look at your screen. We can use the structure. આ સ્ટ્રક્ચર સમજવાની ખાસ જરૂર છે મિત્રો. Please pay attention. Modal verb plus be. Be ના રૂપો યાદ આવી ગયા? Is, am, was, were. I'm just reminding you. Am, is, was, were. એટલે be ના કોઈ પણ ત્યાં રૂપો આવી શકે. Modal verb plus be plus જે dots છે they suggest the main verb, and of course you have the ing, the gerund. આ સ્ટ્રક્ચર તમે કઈ રીતે યુઝ કરી શકો? Let us take an example. It's getting dark. You should be leaving now. Modal verb plus be plus main verb plus ing એ આપણું સ્ટ્રક્ચર ઉપર આપેલું છે. હવે એ સ્ટ્રક્ચરને આપણે સેન્ટેન્સમાં ઉપયોગ કરીએ. It's getting dark. You should be. Should એટલે કે modal verb. Be. Be નો જ રૂપ વાપર્યો. Leaving. L-E-A-V-E main verb છે. એમાં ing જોડી દીધું એટલે leaving now. Alright. So this is a very important structure. We'll take one more example. I might be going to Washington next week. I might. Modal verb. Be. Structure માં ઉપર be બતાવેલું છે. Go. Original verb છે. ing જોડી દીધું એટલે going to Washington next week. So friends, these are 5 extremely important rules which you must keep in mind before you start learning the specific functions performed by modal verbs. Okay, these are 5 extremely important rules. Now we come to our functions part. Let's take the first function that mostly all the modals perform. Let us come to the first function. Modal verbs જે એબિલિટી ક્ષમતા દર્શાવતા હોય એવા. Can, could, be able to. Alright? How many modal verbs do we have which show ability? Can, could, be able to. Now let us see point number 1. What is point number 1? We use can to talk about ability or to say that something is possible. Alright, we use can to talk about ability or to say something is possible. અમુક વસ્તુઓ possible છે. એનું નેગેટિવ કઈ રીતે બનાવીશું? Its negative is can't or cannot. Let us take a few examples. Shilpa can drive. Shilpa drive કરી શકે છે એવી ક્ષમતા બતાવે છે. Let us take one more example. Can you swim? I have used a question. Can you swim? Again, I am asking about your ability. Can you swim? Are you able to swim? Do you have the ability to swim? And let's take one more example. They can't attend the meeting. એમની inability, અક્ષમતા બતાવે છે. They are not in a position. They do not have the ability to attend the meeting. I hope the first point in the discussion of ability is clear. Let us now come to the second important point. Let us come to the second point. Oh, but there is a note. Point number 2 jata pehla, there is a note. Sometimes we can also use be able to instead of can. But the use of can is more common for our daily conversations. This is a very important note. Be able to grammatically મિત્રો સાવ સાચું છે. It is absolutely correct. However, common શું છે? વધારે ઉપયોગ અને વપરાશમાં શું લેવાય છે? can લેવાય છે. દાખલો જોઈ લઈએ. શિલ્પા is able to drive a car. પણ ડેલીની રોજિંદી ભાષામાં we do not use be able to. We simply say Shilpa can drive a car. Alright, now let's come to point number 2. We use could to say that someone had the ability to do something in a general sense in the past. Kindly pay attention to this note, my friends. We use could to say that someone had the ability to do something in a general sense. General sense means normally, usually. પણ ત્યાં એક બીજી કંડિશન પણ આવે છે, in the past. ભૂતકાળમાં નોર્મલી, generally speaking, કોઈને કોઈ કાર્ય કરવાની ક્ષમતા હતી. એના માટે which modal verb do we use? Could. Sorry, I think my examples will make it very clear. For example, I could talk when I was 2 years old. Probably that is why I became a teacher. I could talk when I was 2 years old. When I was 2, ભૂતકાળ. મારી ક્ષમતા શું હતી? Generally, I could talk. Now this is a very, very general situation. મેં કયા ઘટનામાં કઈ વાત કરી એનું અહીંયા ડિસ્ક્રિપ્શન આ સેન્ટેન્સમાં નથી આવતું. I could talk when I was 2 years old. What did I talk? I am not mentioning. And therefore, in a very general sense, I am trying to say that when I was 2 years old, I had the ability to talk. Let us take another sentence on your screen. My grandfather could play football in his youth. ફરીથી ધ્યાન આપો, વિશેષ ध्यान આપો. અહીંયા કોઈ સ્પેસિફિક ઘટના જેમાં મારા ગ્રેન્ડફાધર ફૂટબોલ રમ્યા હોય એવી ઘટનાનું હું ડિસ્ક્રિપ્શન નથી આપતી. What I'm trying to say, in a general sense, someone had the ability to do something in the past. That is the second sentence. My grandfather could play football in his youth. Alright, now connected with this second point will be our third point. Let us come to the third point. This is a very important note. We can also use was athva to were able to in the sentences given above. For example, I was able to talk when I was 2 years old. I was able to talk when I was 2 years old. Now come to the third point. આખું સ્ક્રીન ભરાઈ ગયું છે, but please read slowly. When we talk about a specific situation of the past, ભૂતકાળની કોઈ વિશેષ ઘટનાની આપણે વાતો કરતા હોઈએ, in which someone had the ability to perform an action. એક એવી સ્પેસિફિક ઘટના ભૂતકાળની કે જેમાં કોઈને, કોઈ વ્યક્તિને કોઈ એક્શન પરફોર્મ કરવાની ક્ષમતા હતી, તો પછી in such a case, understand this again clearly. When we talk about a specific situation of the past in which someone had the ability to perform an action, then what do we use? Was अथवा तो were able to. मात्र was अथवा were able to. We are not allowed to use could. नीचे तमारा स्क्रीन में जुओ the second point. In such particular situations of the past, displaying ability, could is not possible. Could is absolutely not possible. Alright, I hope friends this is becoming a little clear. Let us see a few examples. Even though the ship was hit by an iceberg, the captain was able to bring the ship to land. Now, this is a very important sentence. આ સેન્ટેન્સ ધ્યાનથી જુઓ તમારી સ્ક્રીન ઉપર. Even though the ship was hit by an iceberg, the captain was able to bring the ship to land. Very importantly મિત્રો, અહીંયા એક past tense, past timeની, ભૂતકાળની specific ઘટના છે. Ship has been hit by an iceberg. So this becomes a specific situation of the past time. વિશેષ ઘટના ભૂતકાળના સમયની, અને એવી વિશેષ ઘટનામાં કોની પાસે ક્ષમતા હતી? કેપ્ટન પાસે ક્ષમતા હતી. શું કરવાની ક્ષમતા હતી? He brought the ship to land. આવા સેન્ટેન્સ કન્સ્ટ્રક્શનમાં it is not allowed to use could. I hope I'm making my point clear. Let's take another sentence. The principal was very busy, but still the students were able to meet him. The principal was very busy, but still the students were able to meet him. Alright, this is a specific situation of the past time. Students ની ક્ષમતા બતાવે છે. Principal ઘણા બધા busy હતા, and yet the students had the ability to go and meet him for some time. I hope this point is getting clear in our minds. Now, look at the note. In the situation that we just saw, it is also possible to use managed to or succeeded in instead of was अथवा were able to. જે હમણાં જ આપણે ભૂતકાળમાં સ્પેસિફિક સિચ્યુએશનની વાત કરી, એ જ સિચ્યુએશનમાં આપણી પાસે we have two more alternatives, two more options which are available. Managed to or succeeded in. પણ